Hello, I'm David Beck, the College Money Coach. I help the families of college-bound juniors and seniors with the huge expense of paying for college. If you have a child going to college in the next 1 or 2 years, you know you are facing a big challenge. Two big challenges, actually. Getting your student into a good college and paying for it. So here are some aspects of these challenges. The first is how to search for and evaluate colleges to build a college list. Once you have a list, you need to become familiar with the admissions process in order to have a chance of getting in. Then, on the money side, you need to understand financial aid and the realities of college economics. Finally, college is so expensive these days that funding it requires good financial planning. I can simplify this process for you, show you how to select colleges, how financial aid works, how to get tax benefits, and the best way to use all your personal resources. You need an overall strategy that takes all of these factors into account. Few families have a well-developed strategy for balancing the quality of college with what they can truly afford. The result is often that they don't get the most financial aid or tax aid that they could, or go to a less desirable college because they didn't realize a better college was affordable. Isn't that a shame? I think it is. I think it is terrible that literally hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of families make simple mistakes that cost them money and reduce the potential of their child's education. So here is my answer. I am going to show you the basics of good college planning in this short series of videos. The basics might be enough for you at this point, or you might want to go deeper. You will find out as you go. But for now, even if you think that you understand college planning, I recommend you watch what I'm about to show you, just to be sure. In this video, I will teach you the framework I use in my own college planning practice. I will also reveal to you the fundamental key to solving the whole challenge. There's a great need for good college planning, but it can be difficult to find the right person to help you, and it can be expensive. Luckily, you're in the right place at the right time, because I'm here to reassure you there is a solution, and it's a simple solution. You should do your own college planning. I believe you are able to do a good job of this. All you need are the right tools and instruction on how to use them. Yes, there's plenty of books and websites with great information, but information is not the same as knowledge. You need guidance to make sense of all the information. And it takes both knowledge and experience to achieve wisdom. I have the experience to increase the value of your knowledge. By watching this video series, you will benefit from both my guidance and my experience. Why me? How is it that I developed this solution? Well, 5 years ago, I was starting my financial planning practice in the San Francisco Bay Area. My niece was off to college and asked me if I could help with figuring out how to afford it. I said sure, but quickly realized that the training for certified financial planners only extended to 529 plans, the basic tax credits, and pretty much the same thing as every book you've ever read about getting into college. Very limited and not much use with the complex issues she was facing. So I began to research, realized how complex the issue is, and made it my full-time job to become an expert in the field of college financial planning. Over the years, I've helped hundreds of families understand the issues and faced a broad array of client issues myself that have helped me develop a complete understanding for what's important and what truly helps. I now teach college planning to other financial planners and college counselors. I am constantly speaking to parents at high schools, PTSA meetings, libraries, and other public venues. I'm a member of the National Association of College Counselors and College Planners and attend their conferences each year. So I'm constantly updating my knowledge and skills with continuing education and by doing my own research. Higher education is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and as you can imagine, there's a lot going on. I stay on top of it by being there every day. It's a full-time job for me. With my guidance and experience, you can do your own college planning. Have a good plan that will save you a lot of money compared with having no plan. And doing it yourself will be less expensive than paying somebody to do it for you. Stay with me as I go through the basic steps in these videos and see what you think. Let's start with a framework I use in my personal practice, my 7 Steps to College program. Here are the steps in the college financial planning process. Ideally, it starts with saving during your child's early years, but it's a little late for that now if you haven't already been doing it. The remaining 7 activities, the 7 steps to college, apply in the high school junior and senior years. They are split into 2 groups. The first group is the more strategic and covers the preparation of the preliminary plan, setting the financial aid strategy, and selecting colleges to apply to. The earlier you look at these activities, the better. But a good time to start is early in the junior year, while you have the luxury of more time. The first step is to prepare a preliminary college plan. I say preliminary because the final plan will not be set until maybe a year or more later when you sit down to evaluate the offers of aid from the colleges the student was accepted at. This is when you will finally get a handle on how much this is going to cost you. Preparing the preliminary plan is the foundation step. The key takeaway is to have a solid plan to follow, saving you a lot of time and the worry of making expensive mistakes. To complete your plan, you will need a good understanding of the basics, which we'll cover later in this video. You also need an estimate of your eligibility for financial aid. The second video in this series will provide you with an explanation of the need-based or government financial aid system and how to improve your chances of receiving useful aid to help meet the cost of college. If your child is a junior, you should figure out your financial aid strategy before the end of the fall semester of junior year. That way, you can set up your finances for the financial aid calculations that occur a year later. You also need to increase your chances of getting merit aid from the colleges to get a better education for less money. Juniors should start work on college selection in their second semester so that they can spend some time over the summer working on their college applications. The later grouping of activities is more tactical. These occur in senior year, when you need to stay on top of a sequence of actions that will generate the money to pay for college bills. Seniors will be applying for institutional financial aid as early as the fall of senior year, and for federal aid early in the winter semester of the year that they will go to college. There are 4 good reasons you should file the FAFSA, even if the government need-based financial aid might be minimal for your family. Now, many competitive colleges may also require the more complex profile forms. Plus, there are special cases that warrant extra attention, such as divorced parents, multiple children, or unemployment. Yet simple preparation makes filing both of these applications quick and easy. If you did a good job of selecting colleges, your student will receive a number of offers and the accompanying aid award packages. You will be evaluating, comparing, and maybe appealing these aid award offers in April. You need to make sure you understand your true out-of-pocket cost before deciding which offer to accept. The final decision on which college to go to is due on May the 1st. Based on which college your student has chosen to enroll at, you will be able to update your budget and plan your cash flow, how you will come up with the money to make the payments. Your share of the bills will come out of your savings, income, or loans. You want to figure out how to make the best use of your family's resources and follow the payment rules to keep any tax benefits you are due. You should look out over the entire college career to make sure it is sustainable. If necessary, you will then look for loans. Loans are available to both the student and parents, and you will be applying for them over the summer. Find out which education loans are right for your situation and how much you should borrow. Most students graduate with at least some loans, but some come away with a crippling amount of debt. If you understand the different loans and which ones are best for you, you will be able to avoid overextending yourself and taking on too much debt. So these are the 7 steps to college. It's never too early to get an understanding of the process, so a good time to start your college planning is right now. If your child is a junior, you should prepare your preliminary plan, figure out your financial aid strategy, and then work on college selection. If your student is a senior or is even already in college, your options have already narrowed considerably. Jump in at whatever point you're at and catch up with any missteps as best you can. You will still see a benefit in reduced future expenses. Make a note of which step in the process you should be at, what you need to do to catch up, and what you can leave until later. The key to success in college planning is to get off on the right foot. So let's take a closer look at the first step, preparing a preliminary college plan. Sadly, few families actually prepare an early college plan because nobody explains what it should look like or how to do it. Yet it's pretty simple to do, and it sets the boundaries for you and the student to work within. Going off to college will be a family project, so let's start by allocating responsibilities. The student will do most of the work, researching the colleges, applying, writing the entrance essays, etc. In fact, the skill set needed for the application process is necessary for the student to prosper at college, so it's important that they are the ones to do it. It's also important that they are the ones to take the final decision of which college to go to. The important responsibility of the parents is to help their child identify what they're most interested in and can be great at, and then help them become it. So the parents' role is to support, listen, and advise, except when it comes to money. Yet in too many families, the important process of college selection is left entirely to the student, with parents unaware of the potential consequences. Are you really going to delegate what could be a $250,000 decision to a teenager? No. Financing college typically involves a huge transfer of wealth from the family to the student. Now, college is a great investment for the student, but a bad one for the parents and the rest of the family. Various studies have shown that a college graduate will earn 84% or some other significant number more than a high school graduate during their working career. If they take student loans, they have many years of working life to pay them back. For the parents, it's another matter. When your child graduates 5 years from now, you will need to be ramping up your retirement savings, not paying off parent loans. While students can borrow for college, parents cannot borrow for retirement. And all too often, the majority of available resources go to the first child to go to college, leaving money short for the next child. So one of the great values in preparing a financial plan for college is to balance the interests of all the family members involved. For most families, paying for college will be the second biggest expense after their home. More than a new car, less than the house. You know, even if you have enough money to write a check to pay for college, you will still benefit from college planning by reducing the out-of-pocket cost. After all, There's no need to throw money away. The savings can be put to other uses, like pursuing investment opportunities, retirement, or leaving a legacy for your children or charities. For many people, though, the expense of college will be greater than their available spare income, creating a negative cash flow during the college years. Negative cash flow means that you'll burn through your savings and eventually go into debt. And what is debt? You are promising to give up some part of your future income to service and pay off the money you borrowed. Income you could be saving for retirement. So as a financial planner, I work with clients to reduce this negative cash flow, to reduce the student or parent loans necessary to pay the college bills. This is the fundamental key. The way to do this is to identify a dollar number that the family can afford, then research great colleges to apply to that will offer aid so their net price matches this number. Developing this simple spending plan is the fundamental key to successful college planning. Figure out what you can afford and then go to a college that costs no more than that. This is the format of the preliminary plan. Your job is to fill in the numbers for your family situation. There's just 10 numbers to estimate. 6 of them are about your own financial resources and only have to be estimated once. The other 4 are college related, so you need to generate them for each college on your list. The main unknowns will relate to the amount of aid from the college. You need to enter realistic estimates where you don't have solid numbers. You may have to go round again and adjust some numbers to either increase the money available or reduce the expense by picking different schools in order to bring the revenue and spending into line. Once the 2 sides balance, the college goes on the list. If the net cost of a college is still higher than you can afford after doing this, you will have to take out parent loans or private student loans to make the plan balance. Generating these 10 numbers isn't a lot of work, really. You can do it with some guidance as to where to get the numbers. And if you do it well, you'll stay out of trouble. For example, your student gets accepted to a dream college she shouldn't have applied to. Now you have to say, "I'm sorry, you can't go, we can't afford it." Do you really want to have that conversation with your child? No, I didn't think so. Here's just a few tips on calculating the family contribution. Although you may not want to hear this, the best source of money for college is your present income. Continue to provide at least the level of support you are now and increase it if you can. Now, what about other family members like grandparents, uncles and aunts? Can they contribute money for college? Obviously, you will use any savings you've set aside for college, like in a 529 plan or EE bonds. But don't use your retirement savings. You need to make it work some other way. For some students, applying for private scholarships may generate more money than working. For the tax benefit, if your adjusted gross income is under $160,000, put in $2,500, otherwise assume 0. Now this might change in 2012, so we'll have to wait and see. Now here's an example to show you this preliminary planning. This family can contribute $500 a month, some of which they're already spending supporting the student while at home attending high school, so their standard of living won't be affected too much. There's $40,000 in available student and parent savings for college, which will be spread over the 4 years. Now, some student earnings, family gifts, and a small private scholarship add to the amount available. The family qualifies for the $2,500 tax credit. The student will take the Stafford student loan. the college is affordable, provided it kicks in a net $10,000 off their $40,000 cost of attendance. So the question is, do the financial aid statistics for the college indicate that this is likely for our student? In video number 2, I will show you how financial aid fits into the picture, so you can calculate the right side of the equation, the net cost. Some families think that financial aid will provide a free ride, and others think they will get nothing, so it isn't worth applying. Both views are wrong, for reasons I will explain. Without a realistic expectation for financial aid, it's impossible to match what you will have to pay with what you can afford. So let's get real and understand what financial aid will and won't do for your family. We'll see how much money is in each bucket and what your family might receive. We all know it's one thing to understand what the solution is, but it's another to follow through and take action. It seems harder in our minds than it is in reality. So we sabotage ourselves, saying, yes, I hear the solution, but there must be something else. It can't be that easy. Or you lack confidence, thinking, I don't know whether I can do this or not. Well, this is something you can definitely do. College planning is not as hard as you might think, provided you have the right guidance. And even if you only learn how to get a $2,500 tax credit, it will be worth doing. In many cases, though, you can avoid making mistakes and save thousands of dollars and a lot of remorse. For example, by recognizing that the college your student is becoming fixated on just won't be affordable. At this point, know which step in the process you're at right now. Form a student-parent team. Then identify what you can afford, the 6 numbers that together make up the left side of the equation. Then watch video number 2 to see how financial aid works. Enter your email address to make sure you will get the invitation to the next video. And please take a moment to post a comment or question below on this first video. I will personally reply to them all. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next installment in the series of 4 videos on how to do your own college planning.